Welcome everyone! In southern France, wildfires turned the A9 motorway into chaos as motorists were trapped between flames while firefighting planes dumped water overhead.
Mais le flic, pourquoi il rentre pas dans la voiture? Il est pas con, lui. Je m'énerve.
Et il y a les pompiers en dessous aussi, tu vois les gyrophares. Mais c'est super.
They say skydiving's a life-changing experience, and needless to say, he came down a changed man. This came way too close. Near Alaska, US fighter jets are met by a Russian Su-35 in a close and unexpected aerial intercept. The UAE sky lights up as an Etihad 787 flies over the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, escorted by Al Fursan jets painting the colors of their flag in the air. In aviation, things can go south fast, like this plane's door popping open mid-flight. Not panicking, the pilot kept flying and landed safely.
Door's closed.
All right, I'm fine with having my flight delayed. An engine failure forces this pilot to make an emergency landing on the highway, skillfully avoiding any possible damage to the cars nearby. Loops, rolls, and flying sideways, this pilot's just showing off now. Helicopters generate lift through a unique effect called downwash, visible in the spiraling water they push down. This is your friendly reminder not to stick your face out of a helicopter. What feels like zero-G is actually a plane descending rapidly, creating that brief sensation of weightlessness. In Italy, the Connor K3 Amphibio MKI lands and takes off from water smoothly, even shutting down the turbine and cruising on electric hydrojets, something an average helicopter definitely can't do. Raising money for breast cancer, these skilled pilots were able to make a 49-plane formation during a football game. This is wing walking, one of aviation's most extreme stunts. Helicopter pilots can really turn up the heat if they have the chance. Japanese engineering students push the limits of human-powered flight as their elegant green glider soars. They could work on the landing, though. The pilot forgets to lower the landing gear, and the plane slides across the runway instead of rolling. You just know that Su-27's a big deal when the world's largest helicopter, Mi-26, is transporting it. I thought only F-35s were able to fly backwards. Harrier jets need more recognition than this. Over the streets of India, a man single-handedly builds and flies a nanotrike, showing off his passion. Watch the insides of a plane while this pilot does a spin recovery like it's another Tuesday for him.
There's the stall. Okay, here we go. There's half. One. Half.
feet, guys. Brakes down, looking good. 4,000 feet max. So we're looking good.
Yeah, looks good.
At this point, gravity is more of a suggestion.
Yeah, buddy.
A problem during takeoff roll forces an immediate abort. This was hard to watch. In Hungary, this JAS-39 Gripen looks out of control as it spirals with smoke and flares, but it's all part of the show. These divers in Portland needed urgent help. Luckily, the Coast Guard came in clutch with a fast rescue. A Grumman TBM Avenger fires up its massive radial engine, then folds its wings like it's heading back onto a World War II carrier deck. Australia's RAAF C-17 thunders along the Brisbane River, flying shockingly low for the River Fire event. Remember that 49 plane flyover to fight breast cancer? This is how it looked up front. In freezing minus 28 degrees Celsius temperatures, the A320 CFM56 engine spins up on startup. A technical issue with the landing gear door sends this A321neo back to Heathrow instead of continuing to Madeira. Who needs engines when 8 guys can push a whole plane? In Antarctica, an Icelandic-crewed Boeing 737-300ER lands on the icy runway at Troll Airfield, carrying scientists into one of the world's harshest environments. If not for the cameras, most people wouldn't even be able to see how sneaky a Thunderbird can be.
She went fast.
In Geneso, New York, the last operational C-123 narrowly avoids disaster during a low pass at the Geneso Airshow.
Here with the distance from the runway and the wind.
At that speed, it's a miracle nobody face-planted. They landed safely. Who cares about a little bounce, right? Florida wildlife crews in the U.S. move a surprise alligator visitor to the Hillsborough River, safely off base and back where it belongs.
Miles an hour, and but he's still got to work very hard to get into position so that, oh, look at that.
Flying a plane is difficult as is. Landing on a moving car on one wheel? That's next level cool.
Look at that, not through, we didn't get it down that time.
Oh, guys. We're not moving. I'm not.
These guys were just playing golf when they became part of an emergency landing.
Are they okay?
And again, I need to offset a little bit to the right.
So 2, you're clear to contact.
Copy, clear contact. Okay, so I just need to slowly drive forward, not scare anybody. Him, me, or anyone else. Almost there.
Contact.
How much fuel?
We are at 18.1.
NASA pilots guide an F-15 into perfect position to refuel mid-flight during testing operations.
Okay.
As night begins to fall, this C-130 puts on a flare show, illuminating the sky once more before total darkness. In Costa Rica, a DHL cargo aircraft loses control on landing and crashes beside the runway. The F-22 Raptor puts on a jaw-dropping performance at Oshkosh in the USA, doing moves that look physically impossible. A rescue drill in Martinique, France turns dangerous when a Sécurité Civile EC-145 helicopter strikes a high-voltage cable. But don't worry, everyone ended up being okay and swam over to the shore nearby. This is the first startup of a freshly installed PW4168, checking that everything works as it should. Yeah, that is supposed to happen. Only in Dubai does a rooftop pool turn into a 77-story drop. When the helicopter says, "Excuse me," at New Chitose Airport in Japan, runway operations pause after deer enter the airfield, proving how even animals can disrupt aviation safety. Gravity works funny inside of a jet. Even a barrel roll isn't enough to stop this guy from having his cup of water. silky smooth landing in near zero visibility and rain on top. Being a pilot is no kid's game. While rehearsing for an event, this Turkish jet came dangerously close to crashing, nearly turning a festival into a tragedy. In Australia, an EMQ rescue helicopter saves 4 people after their boat capsizes. Oof. Even though it's a replica, crashing a Spitfire like that must have cost a lot. The Yak-52 shows off a torque roll, where the plane rotates using engine force instead of speed. That's reverse thrust spray, engine slowing the plane while blasting water like a jet-powered fountain. Over the Atlantic, 8 U.S. Air Force F-22 Raptors line up to refuel mid-air from a KC-135 tanker, extending their range without landing. Military aviation at its finest. That's some strong grip this guy has. If it's not clear enough, this was done by professionals, so don't try this. You think the F-18 is flying alone? Think again! A little too low for comfort, are we? Whose brilliant idea was it to park their truck behind a plane? At El Centro, the Blue Angels show pure takeoff precision. During the wildfires in Washington, D.C., a man captured this plane dropping fire retardant, some of which ended up covering him. Aerial firefighters coming in clutch, risking themselves to put out a large fire and protect the environment. Inventing new ways to skydive. I love it!
Congratulazioni lo stesso.
In Pavullo, Italy, this glider lands perfectly in the rain. Over in Bulgaria, a Lufthansa A-38 receives a fighter jet escort, marking the aircraft's first landing in the country. I wonder what the owner of that car did for it to be thrown away like that. Good thing no one was in there. Coordination at its finest. It won't matter even if you tie them together with a rope. A helicopter practicing hover and flight refueling for emergencies at sea. This clip shows how the US military refuels 2 CH-47 Chinooks in flight so they can keep moving non-stop. Basically like threading a needle on insanely hard mode. Powerful winds hit Maringa Airport in Brazil, forcing crews to deal with dangerous weather conditions. Welcome to Sabah, the world's shortest commercial airport.
And it is always successful, yeah?
7 and 36. Pretty cool.
From the cockpit of a Boeing 787 cruising over the Atlantic, 2 other wide-body jets appear ahead and below on the North Atlantic tracks. Terrifying to see, but planes are built for this. In Canada, a Canzo PBY Catalina lifts off smoothly from the lake, skimming the water before climbing away. Every summer in the United States, planes scatter trout over Utah's mountain lakes where trucks can't reach. That bird barely saved itself from a fate no one wants to go through. Don't click off yet. If you love our videos, subscribe now and hit that bell. And wait, there's more videos for you right here on the screen. Just click on the one that grabbed your interest and enjoy. See you there!